Hi folks, and welcome back to another Philosophy Club. Okay, so this week we're going to look at UFOs. We're doing aliens. And specifically, we're going to see if philosophy can help us think about flying saucers visiting Earth. Okay, so a little background. In 1947, Kenneth Arnold was flying during the day when he spotted 9 strange objects in the distance. When he landed, he reported what he saw, and so began a flurry of news reports on the so-called flying saucers. But Kenneth Arnold didn't originally say he saw saucer-shaped objects that were flying in the sky. What he actually reported were boomerang-shaped objects that seemed to skip like saucers if you would throw them across a lake. But now they're known as flying saucers because at some point, that's what the media called them. And then from then on, not only did the name stick, but then that's what people started to see in the sky. Not boomerangs, but saucers. This is something called the power of suggestion, or people start seeing saucers because that's what they think UFOs look like, because that's what the media calls them. And so this shape of saucer is suggested to them already. The power of suggestion can explain why we jump at shadows after scary films, we see shapes in clouds when we lie in the grass, and why some people see faces in their toast. So the power of suggestion might explain why people see flying saucers in the sky, but what about the argument that saucers are aliens from another planet? Can philosophy help us with that? Well, we always need to look at the evidence to decide for certain. But what philosophy can help us with is deciding what is the better theory to explain what we see. So there's one idea in the philosophy of science which might help us decide whether we think flying saucers are little green men from other planets or something a bit more terrestrial. And this idea is something called Occam's razor. Occam's razor is named after William of Ockham, who was a medieval philosopher. And the idea is really, really simple. It states that usually the best explanation is the simplest one. This means that when we're choosing between 2 or more explanations for something, the explanation that assumes less things is the better explanation. So let's use Occam's razor on the idea of flying saucers and aliens from other planets. So I want you to imagine all of the things that would have to be true for aliens to visit Earth, and we're going to put them in a list. So the list that I have is, okay, so there needs to be the existence of intelligent life on other planets. That's the first assumption. Then the second is that life needs to be able to travel through space. And the third assumption is that such life is within traveling distance of Earth so that they can visit us. I mean, there are 3 pretty big assumptions, and inside those assumptions are even other assumptions. But it's still possible that all of these things are true. But are there any other explanations of UFOs that don't make as many assumptions? Sure, there's plenty, and they're all very simple. Things like meteorites, weather balloons, planets, airplanes, drones. As theories all make way less assumptions about what we see. And so, according to Occam's razor, these are better theories and better explanations about what's happening. Of course, we still have to test our theories against the evidence, like all good science should. So, to recap, Occam's razor states that when testing competing theories, it is usually best to go with the theory that has the fewest assumptions. Okay, thanks for watching this week. I'll talk to you again next week. In the meantime, take care.